a regular conversation with you and you're just it's not even the fact.
Let me ask you something. What did you feel when you read the title of that video? Did any emotions get stirred within you at all? Now, write them down in the comments, but don't submit it just yet, because I set this title as a kind of Rorschach test, because it should be seen in a neutral way, but if you felt offended by this video title, you're probably among the ones it could help. Now, there's this quote that's been going around, attributed to Socrates, which says, "Trust not a woman when she weeps, for it is in her nature to weep when she wants her will." And while there is no actual passage in which Socrates says this, there is a grain of truth to it. And I think every man has experienced some time when a woman has used tears to try to get her way. I remember being totally unsure of what to do when, as a 22-year-old, I caught my first girlfriend lying to me about something really stupid and really silly, but she was trying so hard to convince me. She had tears running down her face, and she was saying, "I don't know how I can handle my boyfriend not believing me," with the same childlike hyperventilation. And she came up with bigger and bigger lies to try to cover for herself. And I tried to contort myself mentally and emotionally to try to make myself believe her, but I was just gaslighting myself. And it was only when I finally said, after months, that I had to end the relationship because I couldn't make myself believe her, that she finally backed down and told me the truth. There really are people out there who didn't develop past a very childlike idea that if they cry enough, then the other person will back down. Because that's been their experience of life. Her parents backed down when she cried because they just wanted to get on with their day. Her boyfriends backed down when she cried because either they just wanted to fuck her and honesty and emotional intimacy didn't really matter, or because they just thought that this was the standard thing to expect from all women, so why demand something that you're never going to get? And as we've discussed previously on this channel, both men and women are protective over women and empathetic towards women in a way that they are not over and towards men. And so it's far easier for tears to be used as a tool of manipulation by women. Empathy becomes weaponized against the empathizer by the permanent victim. But even when it's not a tool of manipulation, tears don't necessarily mean that you need to compromise on your principles or what you know to be true. Everyone has their own emotional process, and it's important to let other people be. If they're crying, it doesn't mean that you have the job of stopping them from crying. Now, many men have the belief that they do, that it is their job, that it is their responsibility, because growing up, their lives could be made hell whenever their mother got upset. So their growing brains absorb the message that woman crying equals very bad and I need to stop it. And so it provokes anxiety in them. They learn to walk through life walking on eggshells. And I myself would have said at some point that I would rather die than risk upsetting a woman. And in trying to avoid upsetting her so much, you often lose her. She feels your fear. She feels how afraid you are of her emotions, how easily and quickly you compromise. And that fear and lack of consistency, that lack of backbone, doesn't make her feel safe. Also, it's one thing to offer comfort and support when it's actually wanted, but to try to control someone else's mood is exactly that, control. And people don't want to feel controlled. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, you must love in such a way that the person you love feels free. Free to not be happy, free to cry, free to feel whatever they need to feel for as long as they need to feel it. And because of this, no one is responsible for the feelings of another person. You're only responsible for your actions. Sometimes actions done with the best of intentions are received in a way which creates upset. And you cannot prevent that. There's often going to be much more going on in their heads than the words or actions you said or did. You can be considerate, but doing so to the extent that you're operating from a place of anxiety comes across as insecurity and fear. And it's almost inevitable that you will try to use control or self-betrayal, even unconsciously, as an attempt to mitigate that fear. Be there to support if that's what they want you to be, but being there to support is very different than trying to actively change their emotional state. So to end this video, When a woman is crying, it's very important that you simply let them. Thank you very much for listening. If this video is useful to you, please click like and subscribe, and also hit the bell notification icon to be notified when I release another video. Thanks very much.